conference room. Roll call, please, Jay, for the Airport Authority.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson. Gary Houck.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move its approval. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Airport Authority? If not, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We will now call to order the Gas Authority. Roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson. Bill Wantland.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and possible action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Gas Authority? If not, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll call to order the Seminole Utilities Authority. Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson. Gary Houck.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Utilities Authority? Under bids, number one, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $21,500 from Holland Backhoe Incorporated for a 5 horsepower, 230 vac pump at the Hidden Lake Lift Station. This is a budgeted item to be funded from non-funded proceeds of the 2010 revenue bonds.
I would vote for it. I would
Yeah.
move its adoption. It's in my backyard.
Do I have a roll call, please, Jay?
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes, yes.
Motion passes.
Number two, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $7,828 from Oklahoma Contractors Supply for the purchase of 4 water main auto flushers. This is a budgeted item to be funded from the non-budgeted proceeds of the 2010 revenue bonds.
So I would ask, so this is 4, do we have, how many do we currently have? 3. So, and the plan moving forward is to add some more next year? Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number three, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $10,400 from Oklahoma Contractors Supply for the purchase of 20 back T sampling stations. This is a budgeted item to be funded from the non-bonded proceeds of the 2010 revenue bonds.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
Opposed? If we could now call to order the Seminole City Council for March 11th. Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson. Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of Isaga misi ja miski hanga gudai punga sakene kuitje met o moment portolo van Seminole. Moment poesti o morgen. Iti nokchiketitis. Moment chimi saga misi alagitskas. God, whose mercies cannot be numbered, accept our prayer of thanks for the city of Seminole and for all our people. Let us love one another, for you, God, our love. Amen.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Seminole City Council meeting? Under bids, number one, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $44,870 from RJR Enterprises for the purchase and installation of four 39-foot by 30-foot by 11-foot hip shade shelters to be funded from the General Fund CIP Parks Division.
This is for the softball quad.
Yes, you probably recall for several years our parks folks, especially the ones that play softball leagues and baseball games at the quad, have been requesting some shade shelters. And you guys finally got us in a position to do that.
Move its approval.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $28,980 from HD Supply Waterworks for the purchase of 20 fire hydrants to be funded from non-bonded proceeds of the 2006 revenue bonds.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number three, consideration and possible action to approve the bid of $18,905 from United Engines for engine repairs to Fire Department Unit Number E602 to be funded from the General Fund CIP-Fire Department budget.
Is this a truck?
Yes, it's a big engine that we've had online for many years, and it's got some problems. It was a hand-me-down when we got it, and now it's kind of run its course, and it needs a new engine, frankly. And if you don't,
Is this for a new engine, or is it just to repair the
it's
engine?
just repairing what we've got.
Will this last a very long time?
Well,
Or am
it's.
I asking?
No, that's a great question. It's going to last the right amount of time. You'll recall in the 2010 sales tax, the 2010 tax, you guys appropriated, the voters actually appropriated a certain amount to be spent on a fire engine at the end of that 10-year period. We're, 4 years into that, Jay? So we've got about 6 more years before we've accumulated enough money in that fund or pot of money to be able to buy the new engine. So what we're trying to do is limp through for 6 years until we've got enough to do that. And this should handle it. It's just fine.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Ordinance number 4, consideration and possible action to approve ordinance number 1162, an ordinance adding sections to fireworks stands requirements, Title 9, Chapter 10, Article 4, requiring the operation be placed on a non-combustible surface and restroom facilities be made available to workers at the site.
And when we say restroom facilities, a porta potty or pot of gold or whatever they're called.
Precisely.
Correct.
Yes.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 5, consideration possible action to approve ordinance number 1164, an ordinance amending the employee retirement system defining contribution plan for the position of city manager, city clerk, or public works director for the city of Seminole and declaring an emergency.
If I'm not mistaken, the emergency has to be voted on separately.
That's correct.
Move the approval of the ordinance.
Second. Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
No.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move the passage of the emergency clause.
And if I'm not mistaken, to have an emergency, does this have to show some sort of imminent problems if it's not declared emergency rather than waiting until the next month to take effect? I mean, is there a reason this has to be an emergency?
Yes, but it is an emergency in my opinion. It has to do with retaining key staff personnel. So,
Okay. I have a motion for the emergency clause.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
No.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 6, consideration possible action to approve ordinance number 1165, an ordinance amending the employee retirement system defining contribution plan for the city of Seminole.
dealing with the same issue.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
No.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move the
Um,
emergency.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
No.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolutions number 7, consideration and possible action to approve resolution number 2014-02, a resolution consenting and agreeing to a second supplement to the Declaration of Trust of the Second Seminole Economic Development Council, accepting beneficial interest therein and declaring an emergency.
You want to explain it for the public?
Yes, absolutely. In the original declaration for the Seminole Economic Development Council, there wasn't a broad definition of what they could participate in. For example, they own a piece of property next to the Best Western, and that's an obvious retail spot. However, in their declaration, they are limited to doing only industrial projects. So this broadens their definition of what they can participate in, housing, retail, things of that nature, that they can help recruit and do projects with.
Move to approve.
Second.
A roll call, please, just for the resolution.
Yes.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And once again, Steve, does this need the emergency portion?
We have a prospect that
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Emergency.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houck,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 8, consideration and possible action to approve resolution number 2014-3, a resolution allowing the sale and consumption of wine and Low Point beer on Main Street on April 5th, 2014, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. in conjunction with the Made in Oklahoma Festival. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
No.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
No.
Jeff Griffin,
No.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consideration and possible action to approve the agreement for emergency management performance grant with the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management in the amount of $15,000 with no cash match required. The grant award is an increase of $5,000 over previous years.
So what exactly is this going to be used for?
Well, it can be used for anything in the emergency management plan. Carol, do you want to expand on what we intend to do with it? Mainly Ernie's salary, right?
Primarily staff time for the planning.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 10, consideration possible action to approve the designating March 2014 as American Red Cross Month.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Reports. Steve?
Yes, sir. We've got an extra honorary group with us tonight. Members of our leadership Seminole group. Bill Rosellis, who has tested my knowledge of city government. Mitch Enos, and of course, our director, Amy Britt, are with us this evening. I want to acknowledge them. I wanted to let you all know, I think we talked a little bit about this last month when we voted on the Blackboard Connect. Blackboard Connect is our new, we call it a next generation notification system where our citizens will be notified in the case of an emergency. In some cases, it'll be just general information such as, hey, my power's been out for 2 hours and all I can get is a machine from our provider. What's going on? We'll be able to provide that information to them now. Hey, it's a flux modulator at the mod station and it's going to be repaired within the next 6 hours. So at least they'll have a little comfort. But more importantly, obviously, we're coming into tornado season. And this is going to be a key way for us to get you notified, especially if you're asleep at night. If you want a telephone call or something that might wake you up, a text message, email, whatever, you can sign up if you haven't already. Now, I will say, if you've signed up previously, we should have you on the system. If you want to verify that you're on the system, or if you want a new way to enroll, call Ed Lemmings. Ed Lemmings, our Emergency Services Director, is in charge of getting the Blackboard Connect system online and everyone enrolled. If you have any questions, give him a call at 405-382-2290. And I'll say it again slower, 382-2290. Ed will help you. He's got it pulled up. It's very simple to get you enrolled. And again, you can determine the level of notification you want. I don't recommend signing up for Ernie Willis. I know Ernie's watching tonight, but Ernie sends out about 3 of these a week, some just for fun or not for fun, I guess, but testing. He tests a lot, and you'll also get severe thunderstorm warnings and things like that. So it can wear you out. So, but if you want tornado warnings, you can sign up for tornado warnings, not the watches, but the warnings. And we'll get you in a position where you'll be notified. It's also very handy. We're doing, thanks to what the council has done with the sewer and water line replacement, we'll be able to notify on a map. We can draw a line, and this system will notify those people that are on that line and let them know, hey, we're going to be doing work between Tuesday and Friday. We'll be doing work and cutting driveways. We also try to do that by hand, but man, it sure is nice. If you're at work, you may want to know by text message, hey, we're going to be cutting your driveway. We'll have it repaired by 4:30. You know, those sorts of things are important to know. So if you're interested in signing up, again, call Ed. Lastly, Baker wasn't here tonight. I hope you'll back me up. I'm going to tease him a little bit and tell him that you tabled the action on his fire truck. So we'll break him from missing meetings, won't we? That's all I have, man.
Ward 4, Chris Anson.
I want to thank Mike and Terry and Ed and whoever else it was that helped to work out hopefully a resolution with OG&E and its subcontractor to keep from hitting the water lines all around my neighborhood. Anyway, did we find out if there's any way we can make them get registered and let the city know before they start doing a project like that? I know we had talked about that a little bit.
No way we can force them to, but they have all agreed to.
They have all agreed to it. You know. All right, that's all I have.
Ward 3, Terry Thomason.
Nothing.
Ward 3, Jeff Griffin.
No.
Ward 2, Gary Hauk.
I'd just like to thank the citizens and the staff, and also something that's come up that people need to, if you're using somebody else's garbage can,
Good point.
it's going to come out on the water bill, but it is a $249 fine of using somebody else's garbage can. So there's been some problems, so just want to let everybody know that out front, so if you get slapped with the fine, you've been warned, so.
Ward 2, John Kramer. Ward 1, Bill Wantland.
Just want to again thank our staff, our management, our people. I just got back from 4 days in Washington, D.C., and it's good to be back in a place of sanity.
Ward 1, Susan Hammond.
I wanted to ask Carol, Miss Fryer, about the Made in Oklahoma. Do we have lots of people coming, or do we know?
Can I refer you?
Yes, yes, Amy, yes.
We plan to, yes. We should, in the last, we've done this is our 6th year. Never had an issue. To this point, we have police and medical and all that kind of stuff on down there all day long, and we have about 100 vendors. We have food vendors, we have regular, just vendors. We'll have inflatables there that day, and there'll be about 3,000 to 4,000 people down there that day.
Wow, okay.
So, and there'll be a blood drive that day, poker run, 5K run that involves sitting on. It'll be a full day, so. And live entertainment. We're doing a new open mic this year, so in Veterans Park next to City Hall, so.
Does this mean karaoke?
There's a special challenge. We're going to draw their blood, give them a beer, and put them on a
There you
bike.
go, there you go. I'm sorry I asked.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?